Checking the connection.
My hearing's all, like, off right now because of my ear.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, here we are. We're live.
I'm Champ Stein.
I'm Heather.
And welcome to Talk Comics to Me.
It is July. I don't even know what today is.
It's the
10th?
8th?
8th. That would make
It
more
is
sense.
the 8th.
It's the 8th.
It's
okay.
the 8th. Sorry we didn't sing that part. We forgot.
Yeah, sorry. It's the 8th of July in 2020.
Yeah, we'll stop singing now because that's unnecessary.
Who's calling me at a time like this? Sorry, someone was trying to call me and I don't understand why anyone would call me while I'm recording.
Don't they know? Ugh. Okay, so it is New Comic Book Day. We're gonna fucking do this. Heather.
So here I go. Okay, I got Money Shot. This is issue number 6. This is back from a tiny hiatus. This issue was very strange. I very, very much enjoyed it, though. It's told in 2 point of views. The main doctor whose idea it was to start banging aliens to save money, to do more science shit. She is getting tested for STDs because she's having a very difficult time peeing. And then the second half of the story is like a love story between 2 aliens who are fighting a war.
Oh.
It's very, very interesting. But the aliens, you know, of course, because of who they are, like, they're not supposed to be with each other. And it's like, it goes into this whole thing. There's a lot of, like, I don't know, metaphorical stuff that happens in it, and the ending is very sad. I was not expecting it at all, but it goes into the characters, you know, personal relationships with each other, and how all of this banging between the group has, like, changed not only their point of views with each other, but, like, with themselves too, and how this STD is affecting everyone's life. It's so good. When I got this, like, the very first issue, I got it because I was like, cool, these scientists are banging aliens.
Yeah.
And it ended up being way more than I had expected.
Yeah. And I remember after you finished, you weren't sure, you didn't realize it was continuing.
Right, because they could have easily ended it where they did, but I'm glad that they kept on going because I think this is the most solid issue of the entire series.
All right.
It's so good.
Yeah. Do you have an idea of, like, where it might trajectory towards, or...
I have no idea where it's going at this point. It seems like it started with the aliens banging and is, like, going into, you know, their interpersonal relationships and stuff, which I feel like it's a very interesting way to do this considering what the main story is about.
Yeah.
But I do really enjoy that the way that these characters are written, and how, like, despite the fact that it is in the future, they are scientists, they're banging aliens, they're very relatable with, like, their dilemmas and their, you know, everyday issues with each other and stuff. So I don't know. I definitely would recommend this, surprisingly, because it is dirty, it is nasty, but it's also very interesting and heartwarming.
Yeah. All right.
We love a good heartwarming bang.
We do. I mean, now every time you talk about that book, it makes me want to read it.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things.
I think you'd really enjoy it, to be honest.
I mean, I think we have the trade at work. I might.
Yeah, because it also is very inclusive. Like, yeah, there's several POC. There's also just very sexual banging between everyone, despite gender and sexuality.
All right.
They're just all very open with each other, and I love the honesty and the open communication, and just how, I don't know, they're all very good. They're all very good. That's it.
I love it. That makes me happy.
Yeah, no, it's something that I did not expect to like as much as I do.
Yeah. Huh. All right.
Really shocked me.
Well, now I have finger guns.
Which is a sex move in that book. I guarantee it.
This is about 2 teenagers. Wes and Sadie, who find out they have the ability to control people's emotions via finger guns, and different ways they shoot the guns affect the emotions in different ways. So this particular issue Sadie is trying to make her mom brave so that she can leave her father. You learn in the last issue that she's dealing with a very abusive father who just is awful, and she's afraid that he's going to kill her mother. So she's trying to figure out a way to make her mother brave, and she finds this way to shoot that emotion, or so she thinks, into people, and she makes Wes try it out on her, and then she goes home and gives it a whirl. I don't know, this story is really, really interesting just because it is just dealing with, you know, a lot of different things, and I don't know, the idea of being able to change your emotions in, like, those sorts of situations is, you know, kind of surreal.
Mm-hmm.
And a night, it'd be nice because, like, the whole thing is she's been shooting her father to make him calm, because that's one of the ways she learned that she can do it.
Right.
Is, like, when he was freaking out, she calmed him down with her finger gun, and now that's, like, fading, basically. So she has to find, like, something else.
Right. And figure out, like, why that's happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically it's just, like, every issue has been them kind of trying out the guns to see what they can do. Oh, it's real.
It's only 3 issues in, but are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I am enjoying it. It is, like, something, I think, it's fairly, like, young adult, so in that sense, it's not necessarily a book I would normally read, but I'm having a good time. There's no reason not to finish it.
Right.
And there's
good.
no reason not to, like, you know, support Vault books.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, like, more so why I'm doing it. It's
Yeah.
just, like, supporting Vault seems like a great idea. Supporting, you know, like, different sort of authors and artists.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you know, a really good young adult story, why not?
You might as well.
I might as well.
Right. That's why, honestly, why I start a majority of the Vault books that I read, because I'm just like, who knows? Like, it could be really good. And I'm always pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoy them.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't not like this. It's just, you know, not something I would probably normally
Right.
read.
Oh, my God. Okay. So next, we both have, this is Alienated. This is issue number 4. Zoom in on that, because that's an incredible cover.
Zoom in on that. Yes, I did. I had to get the Christian Ward cover.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I love it.
I feel like anytime I see a Christian Ward cover, I'm like, oh, this is mine now.
Yeah. Because I was about to snag that one, too, but I was like, you know what?
And, I mean, we'd switch.
No, I have all the other ones this cover, so I might as well just, you know, keep with
it going.
Yeah. But that was the only time when I was like, oh, maybe I should get that one. But no, I really enjoy my main covers. So yeah. This issue.
It's a very, very... Last issue was heavy. This is even more heavy, but in a different way. I think the first thing to say is that there are very graphic depictions of suicide in this particular issue, so if you are reading this book, please be aware.
Yeah, it's very, very graphic. It's insane how graphic it is.
Yeah, it made me feel, like, incredibly uncomfortable. Just, like, I know at one point my feet were just, like, doing this sort of motion because I just, like, didn't know what to do with my body. Because it felt like, I don't know, all of those emotions. There's just so many emotions going on in this from every direction, I think. But...
Which, is, I feel like, the point of showing how graphic it was, or... Right.
So this issue...
it's very difficult to read, but I think it's worth it, if you can get past that part. This issue follows Sam, the one of the Sams out of the 3, and his journey with Chip to talk to his dad, essentially.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, like, without spoiling this entire issue, but this deals with his issue deals with his problems in trying to be a better person and trying to understand why he is not the person that he thinks he should be.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, and understanding why his father had left him and his family, and trying to get it through his head that, like, despite the fact that he thinks it is him, that's not him. But it's very, very difficult to read, just because of how much anger and sadness there is in this one tiny boy body.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But as with like every single issue, it does do a really good job of capturing his feelings and the struggle that he goes through clearly on a day-to-day basis. It's really good.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good. This whole book as a whole is, I don't know how it's gonna end. Mm-mm. I feel like it's gonna hurt my feelings, because like every issue after the first issue has been just basically like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna slap you in the face.
Hey, you know all those feelings that you experienced as a teenager but never actually like did anything with? Here's fucking 3 kids who deal with it every day.
So yeah, it's really, really great. The art is really beautiful, and yeah, the story is really cohesive, even though they're dealing with like telepathy and an alien. Right.
They do it in such a way that it's easy to comprehend.
Yeah.
And the fact that they are 3 different, like, wildly different kids.
Oh yeah, I think that's one of the things I love about it the most, is because it does capture those emotions, but they are just like, short of being outcasts,
right?
They all are incredibly different.
Yeah. I truly enjoy this book. There's 2 issues left,
I believe so.
Yeah, I think it was 6, but again,
it's either 5 or 6.
Yeah. And I don't, yeah, like you said, I don't know how this is going to end, and I know it's going to hurt my feelings, because this issue, I was like an emotional mess yesterday because of my freaking ear, but this made me cry, so.
Surprisingly, it did not make me cry. I don't know.
I felt like a huge baby when you were just like, oh, you're just emotional today. And it's like, yeah, everything makes me cry all the time.
Well, no, you were emotional yesterday.
I was.
And I wasn't meaning it as like a downplay by any means.
That's what happens when I get an ear infection. I just cry all the time over things that I cry over everything, so we'll just scratch everything I just said. Everything makes me cry. I try to be tough.
I don't know if that's true. I think we talk about crying enough for everyone to know that we are not tough.
So next, I'm going to talk about this Conan book, because
It's not Conan. You can't call it Conan. They don't own the rights to Conan.
It just has Conan in it. But it doesn't even look like Conan. It looks like my hair when it starts growing out. Like, that's literally me. Okay, so this is a Conan story featuring fake Conan, Red Nails. This is the 2nd issue. I'm still confused about how this...
Are her titties that big in the comic?
Hell yeah, they absolutely are.
Okay, sorry.
They're monstrous.
Oh yeah, those are huge titties. It's really good art.
Yeah, no.
Or weird art.
It's like... Yeah, I wasn't sure how I felt about it when I was first reading it, but this issue in particular, I really loved it. So this is the 2nd part of Red Nails, and I think this is the full story. I'm still confused about the timeline and stuff and how it works, because the Queen of the Black Coast was 1 issue, and that was it. Red Nails is 2, and then there's one coming up that looks like it could be 1 or 2. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I feel like I saw that in previews.
But yeah, this follows Conan and Valeria while they're in the kingdom of... I'm sorry, I'm not going to say it because I'm going to butcher it, and I do not want to butcher it. They're in this kingdom, which is inside, a building, essentially. You find out here that within this building there are 2 different tribes, I guess, and they've been battling each other for like 50 years. There's a lot of origins to this priestess here, and you get to find out like who she is and how long she's been alive and why she's the cause of like all of this. And then they get separated, and...
Was it her big old titties?
It was the huge titties. Like, she just fuels the entire kingdom. But there's a lot of fighting, of course, and then there is a very cute conclusion. But the art, yeah, like I had mentioned, I wasn't sure of it when I first started reading it, but then as you keep going, it, like, makes more sense. And it's, like, it's very graphic. As it says here, it's uncensored. And if you want to read the actual story, all you gotta do is flip back here, and you get a whole novel. And I actually did end up reading this last night.
Did you use a fucking microscope to read it?
I did it like this. I needed a...
Or, like, I guess a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so small.
Yeah, no, it's insane. But I feel like it is worth reading it because it was a really good story. I didn't read the first part, though, because it was like 12 pages of this, and I couldn't do it. But I did read this, the second part. It was good. I enjoyed it. And if this was the final conclusion of it, then I loved it. I think it's great. I don't know how they would do a third part, considering this concluded the whole Red Nails. The story of Red Nails, by the way, is anytime they kill someone from the other tribe, they hammer a red nail into this pole.
Okay.
So that's, how many they've killed. But yeah, it's just a good old classic Cimmerian Red Nails story, nothing to do with Conan.
And then I have Something is Killing the Children. This is issue number 8. And in the last issue, Erica met with one of the people from her weird, shady group of monster hunters, and they're basically like, we need bait, and we're gonna go get this child and use them as bait. And so that's what they're doing in this issue, even though Erica seems like she's somewhat against it. But while they're doing this, some dude who was watching them in the woods ends up coming and is like, I'm not going to let you do this. And so she punches out the dude from the monster hunting group and lets this dude just take the kid because she's like, well, we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Using children as bait. I love it.
Yeah, and then James is in the hospital recovering from his bullet wound from getting shot, and the sheriff is there and he's like, just tell me what's going on. Like, tell me what's up with these aliens.
I was used as bait, man, don't you know?
He wasn't used as bait.
Oh.
Not yet.
Okay.
But we'll see what happens. Like, it's... I don't know. The monsters are getting stronger. I still like this book. It's really interesting.
Well, that's good.
It just, like, keeps up that pace of just, like, okay, here are all the, like, things that are going on with all of this town and all these monsters, and... I don't know. I don't know if they'll kill the monsters.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Something is killing the monsters.
Something is... That's the next next part of it.
Yeah. And it's just Erica.
Just, like, 30 pages of that.
Yeah, that's it. No words. It's like that one Asad Ribic issue of the Conan story.
Yeah. That was really tight, though.
Yeah, I loved it. Great faces. Okay, so next, we both have Willow. This is a Buffy spinoff.
But it's only 5 issues? 4 issues?
Yeah, I think it was 5.
Alright.
This is just following Willow after the Hellmouth when she leaves to go overseas. And then comes back and stays away.
This is just basically her feeling very, very lonely and just kind of outcast and not knowing what to do next.
Yeah. Which I had mentioned to Champ earlier. It really captures that feeling of isolation. It does very good at that because I felt very alone while reading it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah,
like,
it's I'm interested.
Yeah,
to know because I always liked Willow, and I like this version of Willow, how she knows who she is right away. I like that a lot because I always thought that was my favorite thing about Willow was when she finally discovers like who she is and like accepts herself. So the fact that we don't have to go through all of the sadness of Willow trying to figure out who she is awesome.
And I mean, this is also a little bit part of that, but it's just like also having that awareness already.
Right,
for sure.
Right. It is a different version of her, I guess.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that again. I'm excited.
I'm excited. It's good.
It's good.
It's good. Oh, and I love the art.
Yeah, no, the art is great.
It's fantastic.
And those Jen Bartel covers.
So good.
So good.
Any Jen cover I'll get.
Alright.
Okay.
Hit it.
So, hit it. I have issue number 3. Is this 3? Yes, issue number 3 of, I'm going to say Druid. I'm going to say it this time. It's Druid. This just kind of goes more into the...
Dry Dad.
What's up? This is Dry Dad. But this goes more into the mom and the dad and the kind of, I guess, person that the dad is, and you discover that they've been lying to the kids the entire time about themselves, so the kids have no idea, like, who their parents really are. Dad is a conductor, basically a wizard, but just real cool.
All right.
Which I was into, because, like, in the first issue, you kind of get
make him seem like he's...
Yeah, like, he doesn't bring anything to the table. Like, the mom is the one who does anything, and then he's just like, well, gotcha. And then he starts, like, destroying these bad guys with magic. It's awesome. But basically they find out that, like, the bad guys who come into the town to find the artifact, the main woman of that group, she knows who they are, the parents, and she apparently had helped them escape. So she's cashing in her favor. And it just happened to work out that way. Like, she wasn't looking for them at all. She just happened to run into them and was like, hey, since I got our entire group, like, off your tail when you guys decided to defect, like, the least you can do is help me here. And they're like, fine. Let's keep my kids safe. So yeah, there's a whole bigger thing going on here, and that's what it's slowly, like, delving into. So both of the parents are badasses, the kids are naughty, and the bad woman is actually a good woman who just wants to help them. It's weird.
That's a lot.
Yeah. It was, I really like this issue, though, mainly because of the fact that the redheaded dad is actually a badass, and you know how I feel about those redheads.
Yeah. You do have a love for redheads.
I do. And I hate it. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
All right. Next, I have ginseng roots. This is issue number 5. This just goes over, like I told Heather, basically colonialism in Wisconsin and how the American people stole the land from the indigenous people and then planted ginseng there and made money talked about how they wanted to make money off of the Chinese people.
Classic.
So that's that issue of ginseng roots in, like, a little nutshell.
The American version of it. Let me explain this to you in as few words as possible.
Yeah, I mean, there is it is, like always, there's so much in this, like, tiny little book, just, like, so much information. If I were to tell you everything that was in there, it would be...
I do have to say, I have not read it, but the one thing that I do really like about it is, like, the color scheme.
Oh, the colors are great.
I love it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Every time you're, like, reading it, I stop what I'm doing so I can look at the pages. Because even the lettering and stuff is really cool in it, and just the way that it flows. One of these days I'll read it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just so full of information, and you learn stuff every time, because this also just talks about, when it's talking about them taking the land from Native Americans, it gives, like, the different dates that happened, and usually goes into, like, different information. Like, this actually cut up, like, gave you a little map of, like, where the tribes were.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so it does, like, like I said, there's just a lot here, so it's really great, like, it's really informative.
Does he do the art for it too?
Yes.
So he writes it and does. Okay.
Yeah. And then his brother has, like, a little, like, 1-page comic in the back of it.
Okay. Cool.
And another interesting thing in here is that he does usually have, like, he spent a lot of time back at his home in Wisconsin, in Wazoo, I believe is the area, and talking to the farmers who own ginseng farms, and you get a very, very good picture of, like, who they are, and he doesn't really edit out anything they say, which can be kind of, like, inappropriate.
Okay. Putting it lightly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Racist, if you will, at some points. So it is something where you just, like, I don't know, you get a clear picture of everybody, and kind of, I don't know if that's nice of me to say.
I mean, you could have been meaner. I think it's a fine way to say it. You said what you needed to say without being a jerk, so.
So yeah, ginseng roots. Craig Thompson.
There it is. Okay, so next we have
Adventureman.
This is Adventureman. This is issue number 2. This book is just so much fun.
It is a lot of fun. It has, like, it does have that really pulpy feel. Like, the first half of this book, I wasn't, like, laughing, but I could just, like, if this were like a movie, you could hear those voices, like the way it was supposed to sound and like look if it were like a film. It's a book. It's a comic book.
Yeah, it's a comic book. But this one goes, I guess, follows the mom more as she's trying to solve the mystery, I guess. I don't know how you would, like,
I think
properly word this.
Her son is reading the Adventureman book that she was given to by, like, a mysterious person.
Yeah.
And he finds a address in there, which kind of, like, gets her curiosity going. So, yeah, I think her curiosity really did get the best of her in this particular issue, where she was just like, all right, I'm going to do this. And I think, in a sense, like, she's seemingly tired of, like, having a very mundane life.
So she's trying to spice it up.
So she's trying to spice it up.
Do something different that she normally wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I love that.
Which is track down fictional characters, apparently.
Which is my kind of life, to be honest.
Oh,
but
I also love that.
Yeah, like in the background of a lot of the panels, they're actually telling the story. Which I thought that was really cool.
There's like one particular page where it's just like reading the back matter was like, I felt like I needed to do that before I read the foreground.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I did too. But yeah, I really enjoy this. This is 6, right? 5 or 6.
Yeah,
I don't know why I keep asking. Like, no one knows.
Well, I mean, this particular one, I actually did not even see if it was going to be a miniseries or not. I just signed up for it. I didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't either.
The art is really great too. I really, really enjoyed the art quite a bit. I don't know. I normally wouldn't, but I think there's just like so much going on, and like the panel setups are really cool. And
there's like one nose in here that I wasn't too fond of, which is, I don't know, a weird thing for me of all people to say. Like, you know, this nose bothered me, but it was the way that this. I don't know, that one. That's it. Just that whole, I don't know. It's the face. But yeah, overall, I like the art a lot. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Little fun book where a mom and a son are trying to track down these characters in a book they really like.
You like Moms on Mopeds? You'll love this book. I'm so tired of mopeds.
That's such a weird thing. Why mopeds?
Because there are 4 of them at my house, and none of them work.
So
well, one of them does, but they don't have brakes, but DJ rides it all the time anyway. Asking to get killed. I don't know. They spent all of their money on mopeds. It's stupid. I'm just going to keep talking about comics, otherwise...
They are her roommates.
My stupid roommates.
Okay, go ahead.
I hate all of them. So this is No One's Rose. This is issue number 3. This is one of those books where I thought I special ordered just the first issue, but apparently I added it. And I keep forgetting to take it off. Not because I don't like it, but just because I just don't care for it.
All right.
And it's not because it's bad. I'm just like, I have so many other things that I'm reading that I'm just more interested in. But this issue, like, the brother and sister are on 2 different sides of their weird plant politics. The brother believes that humans and plants are, you know, created equal, and there's no reason why humans should be put above nature. Whereas the sister believes that, you know, humans are better and we can figure out how to survive outside this bubble. Both of them are wrong. But they don't, and it explains more in here. So why that's not like,
how do you know?
It's not a personal opinion. It's just they're being fed this bullshit by 2 different sides, and they're both buying into it. And it's very clear that what they're being fed is just bullshit. They're just dumb, and they think that they're thinking for themselves, but they're not. They're being told what to think, and then just taking it as it is. But the brother is trying to blow up the dome. It's like a Stephen King novel. I feel like there was one. Under the Dome. That's what it was called. Anyway, No One's Rose. It's alright, like, especially if you're into, like, weird plant punk. But I'm just not too into it anymore.
plant punk.
Yeah, I do really enjoy the characters, though, despite the fact that they are very naive. I feel like they're more realistic than I'm making them seem. And the fact that they are, like, siblings. Their dad was pretty much... A lot of people consider him a terrorist because of his beliefs, but he believed that humans could do more to survive. Okay. And it's interesting that, like, the brother and sister, despite the fact that they are on two different sides, they both worship their dad for different reasons.
Okay.
But yeah, it's still a very interesting book, but again, I have just too many other things that I care about more.
All right. I mean, that's a fair thing.
Yeah.
So I have Bitterroot. This is issue number 9. The Sangari family is, like, split up in different places. Ma Etta is dealing with these apparent Geno in prison, but they're not what they seem to be. They're, like, making symbols and doing all of these weird things she's never seen before.
Like witchcraft symbols?
Maybe. Okay. Just weird shit that she's never seen, so she's trying to figure out, like, what's actually going on, and she just feels like what's happening to them is the same thing that's been happening to her son Berg, who's just, like, turned into that weird monster thing.
Right, I remember that.
And he is off fighting in Georgia, I believe, with... I'm going to forget everybody's name, so there's 3 of them off in Georgia fighting.
Okay.
And they were the ones who went into that town full of KKK. And were surrounded in the last issue at the very end.
Okay.
So they're trying to get away from that, and there's just so much going on. Not, like, bad, but it's just, like...
A lot of tension.
And it's just... just need to know what's happening. Need to know.
I'm sure you'll find out at the next issue.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Okay.
But really great. Art's really great. Incredibly interesting book. You stuck?
I'm stuck.
It's like the second time today.
Yeah, I beat my record. All right.
See if you can go for one more turn.
One more. Okay. So, this is something we both read, but
yes.
Champ does not technically own. This is X-Force. This is issue number 10, and this is back after a long hiatus.
Yeah,
so it's been like 4 months.
I'll say I don't remember the last time I read this book.
Yeah. I only remember because I finally got all caught up, and then everything went on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Leave. So, this is more plant stuff.
This is more plant stuff.
Oh my god. Okay.
So Beast had this plan to basically take down Terra Verde and sent Wolverine, Domino, and Kid Omega to Terra Verde to clean up his mess.
Mm-hmm. And then it kind of backfires.
Yeah, it extremely backfires.
Yeah, because Beast, despite being super smart, doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, I think the biggest problem here is he didn't discuss it with anyone, and he was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do shady shit and fucking see what happens.
Yeah, no, it's like when a kid breaks a lamp and he's trying to glue it back together, and the mom walks in and is like, what are you doing? He said, I don't know, this thing just fell.
So yeah, Jean...
That happened to me before. That's why I use that as an example.
So Jean figures out what Beast is doing and confronts him, and basically at that point decides that she can no longer be in X-Force.
Because she's too sensitive.
She's too sensitive and too... She's the moral compass, but she's too moral.
And there's some kissing.
There's some kissing in it.
There's some kissing in here. I did take a picture of that and send it to Anna.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, they're getting a hot tub together. Oh, they're totally gonna bang.
Yeah, no, I got real excited and I was like, okay, that's the best you can do? Like, I gotta look at this to even see that she's sitting on his lap. Give me more.
Next X-Force book, just give us the banging.
Yeah, really. You tell us that they're all sharing a room.
Stop calling us.
Sorry, the maintenance guy for my house keeps calling because we broke our dryer. And he's like, let me in to fix it, but no one's home. So...
Anyway.
It'll happen when it happens. I just want to see Scott Logan and Jean make a sandwich on top of each other, not food. I just want them to bang. All of them.
I feel like there's probably some sort of
I'll pay extra.
art out there. I'll pay extra. Who are you gonna like pay extra to?
Marvel. I already pay an obscene amount for the books that I read, but I will throw in $2 extra per issue just to see a banging sandwich.
You're extremely horny today too.
You're not wrong. It's this ear infection, man. It like shuts off a different side of my brain and then opens up the horn.
Okay.
Okay, so then I have
Great.
one more to discuss, which I haven't finished reading all the way yet, because it's an old one. It's just a reissue of an old series. Oh, God. So this is X-Men, God Loves, Man Kills. This is about Stryker and his, path to kill all the mutants and stuff. But this is just a reissue of the story that came out. I believe in
to kill all the mutants.
I believe this came out in 1981, 1982 might have been the original story. I can't remember. But again, this is just the reissue of that story. It's a two-parter. And I made it about halfway through. Look how cute he is.
Cute.
Colossus, look up behind you. But yeah, so this is a thing.
X-Men.
X-Men.
God Loves, Man Kills.
And Man Kills. This just has some of my favorite characters in it. There's some very vulgar language in it, and by that I mean they go real hard in this. And I didn't even show you earlier. I forgot to show it to you. Blah, 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 blah,
So many
blah.
words. Ah!
I told you! It gets real gruesome for a minute. But also, it's never appropriate to use that word, but you also got to remember, like, when this was written and the context it was written in and the fact that they didn't care then.
I suppose, yeah.
It's still not an appropriate word,
Yeah.
and I would not recommend using it ever, but it is what it is at this point, because this was, like, 30 years ago. Who knows? Hey, thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, enjoy your books, Patrick.
See you later. But we're also done, so...
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
We've done it today. We have spoken about everything we wanted to talk about, which is comic books.
Yeah.
And I think we did great.
Yeah, way better than last week, despite the fact that it kept pausing because my maintenance guy kept calling, so whatever.
But as always, support one another. Please fucking wear a mask.
Yeah, wear your masks out in public as we're not even, like, wearing our masks.
Yeah, once again, does not compute. We love you. Go buy comics if you can. Support your local comic book shops. Go buy.
Support everyone. Bye, Randy. Bye.